Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a hidden story from history. What's something people don't know about WWII's greatest lifesavers? I bet you didn't know one of them was a tiny, silent stove. When we think of wartime innovation, we picture Spitfires and Churchill tanks, loud, powerful and dramatic. Yet some of the most profound innovations were quiet, designed not for destruction, but for survival. One such device, the Dunlop Number 10 catalytic lifeboat stove. Modest in appearance, it was a silent hero for those stranded at sea, providing warmth without revealing their presence. In the vast Atlantic, where a spark could mean disaster, this flameless heater was a miracle of subtlety. It's a reminder that survival often depends on quiet ingenuity, not brute force. The Dunlop stove fought the cold and despair as much as the enemy, engineered for the harshest realities of naval warfare. Its legacy is a testament to the power of thoughtful engineering, saving lives, not taking them. To grasp the Dunlop stove's importance, imagine the aftermath of a torpedo strike in the freezing North Atlantic. Survivors, soaked and shivering, huddled in open lifeboats, faced a relentless enemy: the cold. Hypothermia claimed lives faster than hunger or thirst. Creating heat was essential, but lighting a flame in a lifeboat awash with fuel was suicide. The air was thick with flammable fumes. A single spark could mean instant death. Survivors were trapped between freezing and the risk of fire. A cruel paradox. The psychological toll was immense, as every decision about warmth carried mortal risk. The need was clear: a way to generate heat safely, without flame or smoke. The challenge was daunting, but the solution would change survival at sea forever. The Dunlop stove answered that desperate call. Dunlop, best known for rubber tires and boots, seemed an unlikely saviour at sea. But wartime Britain demanded every industry adapt, and Dunlop's expertise in rubber and chemicals proved vital. Already making inflatable boats, Dunlop saw firsthand the deadly gap: no safe way to heat a lifeboat. Reports from survivors and the Ministry of War Transport's urgent specifications pushed Dunlop's engineers to act. The brief, a flameless, smokeless, spark-proof heater, simple and reliable for exhausted men in peril. Traditional stoves were useless. A new approach was needed. Dunlop's chemical engineers rose to the challenge, leveraging their knowledge to create something revolutionary. The result: the Dunlop Number 10 stove, a chemical marvel, not just a product of rubber, but of necessity and ingenuity. It was a perfect example of wartime industry pivoting to save lives. The Dunlop stove's genius was catalytic combustion, a process that burns fuel without flame. Instead of fire, it produced steady, invisible infrared heat, perfect for a lifeboat. At its core, an asbestos pad soaked in platinum salts, ignited with a bit of methylated spirits. Once primed, petrol vapour met the hot catalyst, sparking a reaction that released heat, water vapour and carbon dioxide. No flame, no smoke. This made the stove safe in fuel-soaked, fume-filled lifeboats. It was reliable, easy to use, and had no moving parts to fail. Survivors could regulate heat output, conserving precious fuel. The stove's faint red glow was nearly invisible, keeping survivors hidden from enemy eyes. It was robust, efficient, and perfectly suited to the brutal conditions at sea. The Dunlop stove turned explosive petrol into safe, life-saving warmth. It was a masterpiece of applied chemistry, quietly saving lives. The Dunlop stove's impact on morale and survival was profound. Its gentle heat let men dry clothes, warm numb limbs, and gather around a rare source of comfort. Warmth became hope, a sign they could fight back against the elements. The stove also allowed for hot food and drinks, transforming grim rations into nourishing meals. A hot drink could mean the difference between life and death, staving off hypothermia and despair. Survivor accounts like Bailey and Bishop's 13 Days Adrift show the stove became the heart of their world. Lighting it was a daily ritual, a focus that kept spirits up and minds occupied. The psychological boost was as vital as the physical warmth. The Dunlop stove was more than a tool. It was a companion, a symbol of hope in the darkest hours. In the endless cold, its steady warmth was a lifeline. The stove's value depended on careful fuel management. Petrol was precious and limited. Survivors had to ration every drop, balancing immediate comfort against long-term survival. Decisions about when and how long to use the stove were critical. Waste could cost lives. Leaders enforced strict discipline, making the most of every bit of heat. Survivors huddled close, dried clothes, and timed hot drinks for maximum efficiency. This enforced cooperation built group morale and cohesion. Managing fuel became an act of hope, stretching resources in faith that rescue would come. The art of rationing was as important as the stove itself. With discipline and fortitude, a simple heater became a tool for survival against all odds. In the Battle of the Atlantic, being seen could mean rescue or death. Survivors needed to stay hidden from enemy U-boats and patrols. The Dunlop stove's greatest tactical asset was its silence. No smoke, no flame, no betraying light. Conventional fires were beacons. The Dunlop stove was invisible. Its catalytic process released only water vapour and carbon dioxide, with a faint glow hidden under a tarp. Survivors could stay warm and prepare food without risking detection. This stealth was a deliberate, brilliant design choice. The stove was more than a heater. It was a tool of evasion, letting men wait in safety for rescue. Dunlop's engineers understood survival meant more than enduring the elements. It meant avoiding the enemy. The stove's silence was its greatest shield. The Dunlop stove's legacy endures far beyond the war. Its catalytic technology now powers safe heaters for campers, mountaineers, and emergency responders. In disasters, modern catalytic heaters provide warmth when power fails, saving lives in new ways. The stove story is a lesson in innovation, solving real human needs with elegant, context-driven design. It was forged in conflict, but its impact is peace and preservation. The Dunlop stove reminds us that the quietest inventions can have the loudest echoes through history. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Sometimes the greatest victories are won not with force, but with a gentle, steady glow.